Well, let's get a bit more on this. David Des Roches is an assistant professor at the National Defense University and joins us from Bethesda in Maryland. So it's a pleasure having you on the show. Always good seeing you. First, your reaction on this UN report and I guess on what can be done, if anything.
Yeah, it's not surprising. It's pretty depressing, and unfortunately, not much will be done. I mean, Bashar al-Assad, his Russian and Iranian supporters, they've pretty much won. They're in a position now where, there are a few pockets of Syria that are not controlled by them. About 20% of the population of Syria is crammed into about 3.5% of the land space of Syria. That's the area that they're trying to starve into submission. And then they'll try to get rid of the Kurdish forces in the north and east and the vestigial American presence and basically just reassert this. And at the same time, not allow any of the refugees who fled to come back. So, this is kind of what victory looks like from a Russian point of view.
And of course, we know over the years, Syria has, the regime at least has been able to do what it's done because it's been propped up. What kind of impact do you think this UN report would have on the Syrian regime supporters?
None. None. I mean, the report is out there. It's a matter of historical record. The United States, and all other countries have condemned the behavior of the Syrian government going back since the Arab Spring. But at the end of the day, if you're going to take action, you either have to have a like-minded coalition, in this instance of democracies, and they're fed up with war in the Middle East, or you have to have a vote of the UN Security Council, and Russia has a veto. So I'm afraid not much is going to happen, and I'm afraid that the suffering will continue as long as the Assad regime's in power. And even if Assad himself steps down, I think Russia and Iran cannot allow Syria to defect from its orbit. They have too much money invested in it.
Has the world given up on Syria?
I think they have, yeah, sadly. I think that people have shifted from looking at regime change, getting rid of the Bashar al-Assad thing, trying to mitigate the damage, preventing another surge of migrants, maybe trying to prevent some sort of humanitarian disaster. But I don't think we're in those heady days of the early Arab Spring where we thought Syria would somehow become a responsive democracy. It's Bashar al-Assad's personal fiefdom, and he's supported in that by the Russians, by the Iranians, and they don't care how many people they have to do to keep him in power.
An incredibly depressing report, but as you said, not surprising at all. We'll have to leave it there. David Des Roches there for us at the National Defense University in Maryland. Appreciate your time. Thank you.